What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream from the Scalar Learning Channel. And we are back with another live stream the day before the SAT tomorrow. And by the way, I'm just posting this in Discord. If you haven't checked out our Discord yet, you definitely should. It's all free and it is awesome. Okay, so I just posted it there in the Discord. If you want to join Discord, the link is in the description below. But anyways, this is a pretty interesting day today because tomorrow, for those of you in the U.S. who are taking the SAT tomorrow, this is it. This is the last showing of that paper SAT. So that's pretty interesting. And after this, it's full on digital SAT. So that's kind of where we're at going forward. Yeah. So anyways. Today, the Friday before the SAT is usually the day where I take questions from people and we kind of go over some general strategies. So go ahead and come on in, or sometimes I'll go through the formulas and different things like that. But I figured today I'm just going to leave it completely open, let people join in and ask. All right, so let's see. So you have to wake up early for tomorrow. College Board website is not working. Oh, that's a bummer. I'm sure whatever that is, it'll be troubleshooted. Thank you guys for the likes, by the way. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Hello, is it compulsory to print the admission ticket? I believe so, yes. Unless things have changed, but yes, usually it is. Oh, we got people from South Africa. Amazing. Nepal. Wow. Really cool. Oh, Nair, you're so welcome. Angad, what's up? Welcome. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Yes, if you're talking about linear equations and y-intercept type functions, I just did a video that came out last night. Let me show it to you. So hold on one second. We'll go to my channel. And it was this one. So this is the one that I would recommend. Oh, it's pretty good. Quite a few likes. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to post this in the link here. And I'm going to play the section on linear equations so you can just see where it is. But it's all time-stamped. So you go to linear equations. And let me explain what this video is before I play it a little bit. What this video is this is a compilation of linear equation problems in this section from 2022 and 2023, right? So the most recent SATs. So I think arguably the best data, the best information, the best question exemplar. So check it out. Let me play a little bit for you.
The next category, linear equations or linear functions. So these obviously are really, really prominent. So I'm going to kind of go through the basics. The main thing you got to know, obviously, is y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope, b is the y-intercept. So if we're trying to define this line, I'm going to look at these two components because these are all in slope-intercept form. What is the y-intercept? It's where it intersects the y-axis. It's -8. I see, and that should be right here. So I should see a -8. Don't see it here. Don't see it here. What other thing do we know? We know the slope. We know if we can identify two nice coordinates, we can identify the rise, which in this case is 6, over the run, which in this case is 4. And again, be mindful of the graph and the markings, right? This is going by 2, this is going by 4. It's very tricky. So that gives us a slope of positive 3 over 2, not 1/3, which means 3 halves x minus 8 is the winner. Done. This is again referencing slope-intercept form, where m is a positive constant. What does that mean? That means we should have a positive slope. Positive slopes look like this, okay? So these are negatives, they're out. What's the difference between these two? We got a negative y-intercept here. We have a positive y-intercept. What's the y-intercept here? It's 3, positive, which means C is the winner. Done.
Okay, so again, an Arnav, what was that? Arnav, I think, who asked about that. If you want to go through this video and you can see a bunch more examples, specifically for linear equations, that should clear it up. Somebody mentioned Shanawa's mentioned you get a 1400 in practice, but somehow gotten scores within the 1100 range 3 times in SAT from Pakistan. Okay, my guess with that, that's a pretty drastic difference, right? 1100 versus 1400. So usually my guess with that would be, hey, you got to do way more practice. Maybe you're knocking out of the park a couple times, but you're probably getting caught up with silly mistakes. Also, I'd be curious to know what type of practice test you're taking. Are you getting practice tests on the College Board practice? And then you're going in on the real thing and striking out, or are you using another resource? That's another interesting thing to look at. But I would always err on the side of caution, use as much of the College Board resources as possible, because that's going to be the best and most representative of what's on the real SAT. Okay, let's see. What did you guys do to study for the English? Okay, so this guy is the only reason I've gone from a 542 to 720. Amazing, Chanel was. So great. Yeah, you're very welcome, Arnav. Okay, let's see what else. Does somebody send any last minute tips? I mean, look, it's the day before, right? If you want my last minute tips at this point on this day, I think right now what's important is getting good sleep, eating a healthy breakfast tomorrow, and getting everything laid out ahead of time. So for example, you should know exactly where your test center is, how long it's going to take you to get there, what time you need to leave, so you can make sure you have no questions in the morning. It's going to lower your anxiety levels, drop your cortisol levels, and make sure your mind is as clear as possible when you take this thing. So that would be my last minute advice at this point. If you do feel like there's any critical stuff or fundamentals that you might be missing, then here, I will tell you the videos to watch. So here. So this is usually the one that I will go over on the day, the day before. I kind of run through I'll run through these formulas, but what I'm going to suggest instead is I'm just going to paste it up here, and I'm going to let you guys do your thing. Go ahead and click it and watch it. So that's if you need a formula review. The other thing is, if there's still critical concepts that you need to firm up, you want to once over with some of these critical concepts. SAT math here. I'll send you another playlist. Okay.
Divided by -3 is...
We are going to post these. Hold on. So there's this one. There's also part 2, part 3, and part 4. Hold on. Actually, wait. I'll just post the whole playlist. Okay. So there it is. So there's the playlist. So those are the critical concepts. That's another thing I would watch. If you feel like, yeah, there's a little bit of things that you need to review or cover and make sure you're good on. Okay. Let's see. How would be the difficulty level of the questions as compared to the ones that are given in the Blue Book practice test? Munib, what are you referring to? How would be the difficulty of the levels of the questions as compared to? Oh, yeah, got it. So here's the thing, right? If you're talking about digital, the Blue Book, theoretically, it's from the College Board. So I would imagine that the difficulty and the spread of the questions and stuff is pretty much identical to the real digital SAT. That would be my assumption, okay? Because it's made by the College Board, and that's usually their MO. They try and give you representative practice problems. So that would be my assumption. Yeah, the real test and the College Board practice test should be exactly alike, just like on the current version of the SAT. In fact, a lot of times the practice tests are previously administered real SATs. Now, obviously, the digital is so new, I don't know if that's exactly the case, but you get what I'm saying. It's there should be definitely a clear connection between the two. Oh, it's amazing. And God made a formula book. That's so cool. I wonder if you used my formulas video in particular. Okay, let's see. Shanawa says, I've done Khan Academy this time, Blue Book test, John Chung one as well. Shanawa, are you taking the digital or the real? I mean, not real. Digital or US paper version. That's what I mean. Wow, somebody's from Malawi. So cool. Never been. Let's see. Anybody else? Oh, so yeah, so the digital one. Yeah, here's the thing. So I would say Dr. John Chung, it's a little old, right? I don't think they've released anything new in quite some time. I used to think it was really good back in the day for the old SAT prior to the 2016 switch. So I mean, you know, it's quite an, and now we're talking digital SAT. But again, if you're talking about just pure math practice and just testing the concepts, fine. I think probably the stuff that's going to be best for you is the Blue Book test, then maybe the Khan Academy practice. Yeah, I think that's going to be most relevant. I think it's going to work out. I think you're going to do well. Okay, have I made a video? Yeah, I have made a video about the Desmos calculator. Hold on, let me show it to you. 1 second. I was actually going to make another one today on that. This is what I'm thinking, and I'll if you think that's a good idea, I've got a great idea for it. Hold on, let me show you. Yeah, here it is, Desmos hacks. So check this out.
The side is one equation. The right side.
So this is me doing a bunch of questions with the Desmos calculator, essentially only. Okay. Here. Boom. There it is. Okay, if 2x squared equals 8, for example, should I divide? Yeah, divide by 2 first. So it's sort of like you're gonna solve in the reverse order of operations. So like, right, normally you do the exponent first, then you'd multiply. So here you're going to undo the multiplication. So you do, you know, whatever you're doing second, you're doing first. So you're undoing the multiplication, dividing by 2, then you're taking the square root. What to do if there's a difficult question on the math section? Any tips for how to deal with it? So Susan, my question to you first is: are you taking the U.S. based or the the paper U.S. or digital? I face difficulty in solving advanced geometry questions no matter how hard I try. Yes, that's the video that I just made last night on God. Here, check this out. I made a whole section on geometry. Where is it? Right here. So I'm going to play you a little bit of it as well. I'm going to post it. Hopefully this is going to give you... I mean, look, I didn't cover everything geometry related. So I'll give you 2 videos. I got this one. And the geometry section is this first section right here.
Congruent. This is from the triangle angle sum theorem. The third angle is half.
And then I also have a video... Here, I'll show you. Oh, sorry. Wrong thing. Here we go.
To A. So now let's tackle.
Okay, so this is my geometry video. Kind of everything you need to know for geometry. So let me post that in there. Okay. What's an easy way to differentiate between whether a function is linear or exponential? All right, so here's the dealio, right? If we're talking about linear or exponential, here, let me show you. Oh, and I should mention one other thing. If you are taking the digital SAT, make sure to check out the SAT crash course. Here, let me copy this. Make sure to check out the SAT crash course. Oh, that didn't work. Hold on. Let me see if I can do it this way. Okay, 1 second, right here.
Have to be 110.
Here. All right, so if you are taking the digital SAT and looking for more practice problems or practice tests, I just posted in the chat the link to SAT Crash Course, which I think is the best of the best when it comes to digital SAT practice. And if you use the code Scalar, as I listed in there, you get 20% off. So definitely check that out. And let's see, what else? What else did somebody ask about? Oh yeah, linear exponential. Back to that question. Okay. So if you're talking about just looking at the function, if it's linear, all you're gonna see is like, you should be able to write in slope-intercept form, 3x plus 7, right? And then exponential, of course, is gonna be some constant, let's say 10, times something raised to the x power. Okay, so that might be pretty straightforward. Now, when you're talking about the way that something is increasing, okay? So if the function value, let's say the x's are going up 1, 2, 3, 4, something like this, right? If the function values are going up by 5, 7, 9, 11 by a constant amount, right? This is going up by 2 as the x's are going up by 1. That is a linear function because we have a constant rate of change, 2 over 1, right? But if we're talking about, now it's going up by 2, then it's going up by 10, then it's going up by 14. Okay, so the rate of change is increasing. Now we're talking about something that's likely going to be increasing exponential. Okay, the other way to think about it is if they're describing it and they're like, hey, this is increasing by 50% every year from the previous value of the previous year, or 100% or 200% or 10%. That's also describing exponential growth. Okay, as long as it's a variable rate of change and it's constantly getting bigger or constantly getting smaller, one or the other, now we're talking exponential. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Nahom, I know what you're talking about with those abstract quadratic ones. And that's where sometimes Desmos can come in really handy. I just did a digital SAT practice test a few days ago. You can check out how I use Desmos there. Weird function graphs or sum of... Okay, if you're talking about sum of constants, I think what you're talking about is the sum of solutions. So watch, I have a video on this. Hold on. Here.
We have a quadratic in standard form set to 0, and we're trying to find the sum of the solutions. It's simply negative b over a. Now, of course, you can find the solutions if you want and then add them together, but this is just a little shortcut. So, for example, if we have 0 equals 2x squared plus 7x minus 5, the sum of the solutions would be negative 7 over 2. Next, we have...
Okay, so that's sum of solutions. Those are the constants I think you're talking about. And let's see, price test 44 questions. The real one is going to be 44. Yeah. It's 22 for module 1, 22 for module 2 in there. Let's see. What is the best way to handle those last 3 or 2? I mean, in general, what I would say is use Desmos to whatever degree you can, even for those graphing problems. Like I said, if you watch the digital SAT video that I did earlier this week, you'll see that I cracked one of those really hard ones using Desmos. Let me show you. Here, I'll pull it up. And I was running low on time too when I did it. Here, look.
It says going down.
This one was really hard. This one I did not use Desmos, but I'll show you the one. This one, look, watch what I did.
I'm going to try and see if I can say...
Okay, watch this.
Squared. And then that's equal to... And then we're going to add a slider for b. And then that's equal to...
So I'm putting in each of these separately, right? I'm putting this in, then I'm putting in this function on the right-hand side. Watch this.
9b squared over square root of x squared minus
And by the way, you'll notice I do have a quote unquote lot of time. I have 7 minutes on the timer, but I had to jump off. If you look at the time up here, it said 8:58. I had a 9 p.m. tutoring appointment, so that's why I had to end early. And didn't have as much time as I would have liked.
B squared, okay, and then plus 36. Okay, so we're gonna see where these two intersect. Okay, so okay, let's see how I can use this information because which is my, so then and then I got such a good idea. Okay, negative square root.
So then what did I do? I plugged in all the answer choices. So I was looking at the intersection, right, based on B being like 1 or something. And then I was like, okay, which one of these values is the same as X? And again, I had a slider in for B. So in every situation where there was a B, it was plugging 1 in. So watch.
16 plus B squared. I'm going to add all these. Okay, and then negative square root of 36 plus B squared. And then we got negative square root of 144 plus B squared. And then we got negative square root of 36. Okay. So look at where they intersect, and it's at 4.123. So which one of these gives us 4.123? Let's see if this is my little stretch. Oh my God, it worked! Look, it worked. It's A. It's the 16, which is 4 squared. That's the one that gives the same. I mean, it's negative.
Okay, so you see, like, this was a really difficult problem. This is one of the ones you were talking about. Again, I plugged everything in. You see how Desmos just calculated it for me. It was amazing. So there it is. Masterno, you said you came back. Hey, you're very welcome. You like the SAT math speedruns. Those are my favorite, obviously. This is kind of what this is here. Okay, could you do some questions? Well, decay and growth, I kind of talked about that earlier. Let's see. If you have one that you want me to do, I can take a look. By the way, thank you guys for the likes. If you could like the video, it helps the channel and the video tremendously. So if you could do that, I'd really appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe too if you want, if you're still studying for the digital SAT or anything else. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I could do some GMAT stuff. Somebody's saying one day. I'd totally be down. I think that'd be fun. Okay. How is December SAT, easy or hard? We don't know. It varies every time. It could be on the easier side, could be on the harder side. It just depends. Desmos is a real lifesaver. Hey, what's up, Baylor? Taking the DSAT tomorrow. Currently, my overall score is 850. Hopefully, I can improve by 350 points together to get 1200 plus. You're very helpful. Thank you so much. You're very welcome. Yeah, I hope you can too. Practice some more today. Get some good rest. Thank you for the likes. I see them coming in. Practice some more today. Get some good rest. Get some healthy breakfast. And yeah, knock it out. Arnav said, how tricky is the wording in the digital SAT? I mean, I'll put it like this. From what I've seen so far, it's a little trickier. I've seen some weird stuff with units that they slide in. That's a little tricky that they didn't do in the current SAT paper version, stuff like that. So it's on the trickier side. You just gotta mind your P's and Q's. Just pay close attention. Hopefully, like when you take the practice test and you make mistakes, you'll be like, oh, now I'm not gonna do that next time. I'll remember to catch this. That's one of the best ways to catch those mistakes. Okay. Yeah, this is for the December 2nd SAT for tomorrow. For like I mentioned earlier, it's kind of a sad day because tomorrow is the last ever paper SAT. It's wild. I wish I could have taken it, but they don't let me take the December. Okay, what's the math mindset to get an 800 on the DSAT? Math mindset is to make sure you put tons and tons and tons of practice in, right? Make sure that you're well rested, you're well hydrated, all that good stuff in the morning. And look, an 800, while is an amazing goal, is really hard. You got to kind of be perfect, almost perfect. So what I would say is just strive for excellence on each and every problem. Try for full understanding. Try for making sure to check your answers as many ways as you can within the time frame. You know, that's some of the ways that I eliminate mistakes. I go back and I make sure to do a quick mental check, 1 or 2 checks, even on the calculator if time permitting. And that can really do some great stuff for you and for your score to boost it. What's your say on guessing if one runs short on time? Yeah, I mean, if you got to guess, you got to guess. Obviously, the more time you can allot to guessing in terms of like how much you can make an educated guess, the better. You're not always going to have that much time, but that's what I would say. Do that. And then other than that, you're not going to get penalized. So yeah, you should fill everything out. When square rooting, do I take the positive? It's a free response question. If they don't specify, well, if they don't specify, you got to be careful on the digital SAT because it could be a negative, right? They will specify. So if there's a plus or minus, they'll say take. I've seen this because they've done it already on the practice problems. What's the lower of the 2 solutions? What's the highest of the 2 solutions? So pay attention. They will say. If you're talking about solving for the equations, the radical equations, then where there's a radical existing, in those you're only taking the positive root. Okay? Yeah. Okay, guys, I have a meeting. I have to go, unfortunately. It's 9 o'clock in California time. So this is what I want to say to everybody. I feel like we've answered pretty much all the questions, I hope. And Arnav says, thanks, man. Love your videos. Been following for a long time. Well, thank you, dude. I appreciate it. This is what I want to say to all you guys. Tomorrow, December 2nd, this is your day to shine. Do your thing. I have to believe if you're on this channel, you've done your good preparation. You've watched the videos. You've taken practice questions. You've taken practice tests. And you're going to go and you're going to do your absolute best. And that's what we get. That's what we want. That's what we ask for. So I wish you all the best of luck. For those of you taking the paper test, you're part of history. You're taking the final ever paper SAT. I'm jealous. I wish I could do it with you. But this is it. And then we're saying goodbye once and for all. I'm going to have tons of digital SAT content rolling out over the next 3 months. So make sure to check back if you are taking the digital SAT in March. We're going to be rocking out with so much good content, so much good preparation material. So that is that. Guys, if you haven't done so yet, I see 26 likes. I'd love to get some more likes. I'd really, really appreciate it. I know we got a bunch of people on the stream right now, so if you could click that like button right now for me, that would be a huge help. I'm always happy to help you guys and provide you with as much information as possible. So that coming back to me, that positivity would be phenomenal. If you could do that, I'd really appreciate it. Like I said, all that engagement helps the channel. So Nair, you're welcome. Nahom, you're welcome. Arnav, you're welcome. How do you type a square root on the keyboard? If you're talking about Desmos, type in SQRT and the square root will pop up. SQRT and it'll pop up. Yeah, guys, that is it. Thank you so much for joining, everybody. Best of luck. Leave a comment in the comment section if you're watching this after the live is aired, and I will try and get back to you tonight before you take it tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for joining, and I will see you in the next video. And after this, we are going hard on the digital SAT. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.